Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Boss Babe Blog Podcast. I'm your host, KeTohn, and today's episode is dedicated to experiencing decorative luxury for less. So we have our guest, Charlie Stager. Thank you for joining us, Charlie.
Thank you for inviting me and having
Of,
me.
of course. So I'm excited to talk about this. You know how much we have so many different conversations about design and just your space, elevating your space for your mental. So if you could start with the first decorative technique that you can use to elevate your space, that is very cost effective. You said the first one was one way to define your space, the power of rugs. Can you get into that for me?
Yeah, so if you think about the rug, it's on the floor, so it lays the foundation. It defines the space. A lot of houses, newer homes, are open concept, so you have basically an open floor, four wall floor. So it's no room division. So you use the rug to define the space and divide the space.
Mhm.
So you can lay down a rug for your living room space. You can lay down a rug for your dining space, and you can lay down a rug for if you have like a sitting space, all in a one quote one room unquote space. So definitely rugs lay the foundation.
Okay. And there's so many different types of personalities of rugs. I feel like you could do something very minimal. You could do something very
Yes,
bold and
yes,
funky. So I think
yes.
that's a really great way to add. And as far
Yes.
as rugs go, what would you say would be um, maybe one key characteristic for a great rug?
Okay, so great rug, it depends on you as a person. What do you want? Like you said earlier, it can be something bold and powerful, or it can be something very minimal and understated. It depends on what you like in your space. I know people look at a lot of Pinterest and other ideas and magazines, and they, oh, I like that, I like that. Yeah, you like it because that's the way it's presented, but do you want to like it every day you come home and look at it? So you got to pick things that when you come home, like, well, I like this, and then like, oh, I don't like this anymore. So it takes time. And there's like maybe 12 different design styles. Most people think contemporary, modern, traditional, transitional, country chic. No, they're actually 12 because a lot of those design styles interwove together. And you need a person like Charlie Stanger to help you combine styles and get the look that you want.
Okay, that's a great point. And you it's definitely relatable because there have been times where maybe I was like, "Ooh, that's nice." And then I get home and I'm like, okay, I gotta find a way to work this because it just looks different. Your space is different
Right, right, right,
with like clothes and stuff. You look at a dress on the
right,
mannequin, like, oh, that is beautiful. And then you take it home and you're like, where am I wearing this to? So
right,
that's
right,
great,
right.
great. Okay, so the second tip that you said to help with giving that luxury experience or that luxury feel to your space was effective furniture placement. So can you explain that?
Yeah, so you got to do scale. You have to know scale. So if you have a small room, don't buy the biggest furniture. Okay.
Mm,
So scale is very important, even with your rug. I'm gonna go back to rug a minute. You gotta have the right size rug for your defining your spaces. So your furniture should sit on the rug, not the rug sit inside the furniture. If I'm making sense. So it's definitely
huh,
scale. That's a big important fact. When you get your furniture placement, you have the scale right. Then you have to look at if you have openings into the room where you can place it. You have lighting. What the room? What's the purpose of the space or the room? All those play factors. A lot of time I design spaces and there's a opening like there's three openings to one room. So like
mm,
where you put the TV at, where you because you got a lot of those openings create walkways and you don't want to put anything in the walkway. So you have to really uh, concentrate on the space that you have. You know, again, like you mentioned earlier, oh, I saw this is such a beautiful piece, and you got a home, it didn't look as beautiful as it did in the store because this person named Charlie Stager at the store stages it for you. So it looks good in that space with that lighting, with those colors. And your house may not have the same lighting, same color scheme, stuff like that. So yes, so when you come to talk about furniture placement, scale is number one. Get the right size furniture for the room you want. And how you can do that? Simple blue or green painter's tape and a yardstick or measuring tape. And tape out where you want to put like the sofa or some chairs or a desk. Tape it out, measure it out. and then put it on the floor. Mine's no rug now. Put it on the floor, and then you'll see. Ooh, this is not gonna fit. Or ooh, my furniture's too small. What I want to get is not. My room is bigger than the furniture I'm gonna get. So scale is the number one biggest and to me most important factor. Getting the right size. When I say scale, the right size furnishing for the room. Then once you get the scale right, then you take that blue tape like we talked about earlier and start laying out, okay, I want the couch to go here, and I want the coffee table here, or I want my 2 sitting chairs there. And then you go, all right, which is the next topic we're going to lead into is where you can put your wall decor. So you laid your foundation with your rug. Again, the scale of the rug, you want to get the right size rug. And of course, Charlie Sage and me, I can help you with that, right? And then you're going to get the scale of your furniture. And once you get the scale of your furniture right and the placement of your furniture, then you're going to say, okay, what else can I do to elevate the room? I got the rug I want. It's the right size. I got the furniture I want. It's the right size. I got the placement that I want the furniture at. So what else can I make this space pop or make this space relaxing for me? Whatever the experience you want to have for the room that you're designing for. Some people want a room it's the fun room. Some people want the room, it's the kids' room. It's the room, it's your relaxation room, your zen room. Some people want it's the family room. So what is the purpose of the room and or space? And that determines the rug, the furniture placement, and things in the next category we're going to lead into is wall decor. Those are my topics.
I like the fact that you also mentioned the importance of the walkways, because I do think I've been into a few homes where I don't think they paid attention to the walkways. So, you have this really beautiful setup in the living room, but then there's these bulky couches that are interjecting where people are supposed to be able to walk through. So when we're having events and stuff, people are doing circles around the living room just from point A to point B. Right. And it doesn't makes the space feel a little bit, like you said earlier, if you don't have as much space, putting that big bulky furniture in there, it does make it feel like a little claustrophobic, like we don't have a lot of space. So I think that that walkway was a really great point. And the fact that depending on, what you're doing, you're designing it for. For example, if you're designing a fun room for children, having a huge couch that's in the walkway might not be the best decision, because we're trying to keep it simple and not have things that are obstructing the path for them to get from one point to another. They're not supposed to be running house, but we know how kids are. So, how much space we have, how close the coffee table is to the chairs when you sit down and get up. That's a big one, because I can't tell you how many times I didn't hit that little knee, that little funny bone on the coffee table.
And that gets to scale. Your furniture might not have enough clearance, because you're supposed to keep a certain clearance from the coffee table to your sitting chairs or no couch. And so it's a different. So you can have the walk space, and people can walk past you. Everybody's stepping on your toes. So that all gets to scale. And that's why that blue or green painter's tape is so important. You lay it out on the floor, what you think you might want to buy. When you go to the store and you look at the furniture, measure the furniture, or have the salesperson give you the specification of the furniture, so you know what size that furniture is. You go home, it's okay, the couch is 10 by 15. And you lay down 10 by 15, you're like, oh, that's leading out to the walk, into that walkway you're talking about. So I got to get something a little different. So it is definitely planning. I know we all like to do impulse buying sometimes, but when you buy furniture and stuff like that, you putting a good investment in something. You want it to be functional, you want to enjoy it, and if you have company come over, you want the company to enjoy it too.
I agree. Okay, so this last one that we were talking about, or that you kind of started leaning into, the third tip on how you can experience decorative luxury for less was the impact of wall decor. So what do you explain for us in this tip?
So wall decor breaks down a couple of categories. It can be art, which can be canvas art, framed art. Wall decor can be clocks. You've seen the metal pieces people have on their walls, or pictures. People like family photos on the wall. And wall decor also can be paint. So paint makes a big difference in your room too. And when you paint a room, I'm going to start with paint first, because that's a foundational piece. So you've seen people have accent walls where they paint a certain color, or they add texture to the accent wall. So again, people say, "Oh, I see this in the magazine, seen it in my friend's house," and you saw it for an hour or so. saw the color or in the store for an hour or so, and you think, oh, I like that in my house. But are you going to like that every time you come in that room? Are you going to like that color and or texture? So you got
Yeah.
these are very you got to really think profound thoughts that you really want to spend time and because you're going to spend money, and
Oh,
money is a resource. It's not unlimited, or at least everybody doesn't have unlimited resource when it comes to money. And so you want to get your paint color. I want to go paint color first because that is a foundational piece like your rug. And so when you paint your room or the space, what is the function of again the function of the space? Like if you're gonna if it's a bedroom, painting yellow might not be the best color because yellow is a very energizing color, and we know the bedroom is for two purposes: relaxation and maybe. Okay, so you might not want to be energized every time you're in the bed with a yellow
you have
color.
a point.
Now in your kitchen, yeah, so in your kitchen, yellow might be good if you want to be if you like to cook a lot, then yellow may be a color for you. But also, but nonetheless, people say, oh, yellow. Well, there's tons of yellow. You want a brown tone yellow? Do you want an orange tone yellow? So it gets into a lot of things when you talk about color. So wall decor, number one for me will be paint. People are like, well, I'm just going to do white. Oh man, there's so many whites out there.
Yeah.
And so people like Charlie Stager can help you with that, picking out your paint color. So that's the number one wall decor. Then I talked about paintings, be it canvas paintings or frame with mirror. I'm sorry, canvas painting or frame pictures with glass or without glass. Okay, so that's a category. So let's talk about canvas. So canvas are the lightest ones, and you tend to see them a lot. They're generally not as expensive. Unless it's a famous artist, of course, it'll be a little more money. But canvas paintings tend to be a little more on the affordable side, and it can help you get that luxury look for less. There's things you can do, like people on a budget, and like, well, I don't have the money to go to store Y. I saw a piece, but it is too much for me. Well, a good tip I have is go to a thrift store, if they're in your neighborhood, or secondhand stores, and paint over the painting. People don't realize you can paint over a canvas painting. And Charlie Stager, of course, I can help you with that. And then you have framed art, which is you've seen wall decor as canvas, but it has a frame around it. Generally a metal frame, gold, silver, or a pewter look. So it kind of, that frame around it gives you a little more elevated look because of the frame around it. And then you have the frame paintings, which has glass. Think about museum pieces. Most of your museum pieces are framed, unless it's a portrait or painting, are framed pieces with museum glass, stuff like that on it. So then you have pieces with glass in it. Your frame art decor, wall decor with frame glass in it. Then the third is wall decor itself, be it mirrors, clocks, metal pieces. You've seen people that have the words that are written on their walls. All those are wall decor, and all those different things can elevate your look. Again, it's depending on what's the room is functioning for, what is that room functioning as, the size of the room, which we talk about scale, and what do you want to achieve out of that room. So that's going to help you pick canvas versus frame canvas versus glass wall art versus clocks versus mirrors versus words. So all is all personal. There's no one way, right way to do it. It's your space. It's what you want, not what Charlie Stager would do. What you want, what you're going to enjoy the space to be for you.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that you went through quite a few really great points, and it gives a lot of different options too. So if you're someone that you can't, maybe you can't paint on your walls, it's in your leasing. You still have wall art. Let's say it's vice versa. You're not able to do wall art. There's a lot of options in there for people that would be wanting that wall decor. So that's a really great tip. You gave a lot of insight, Charlie. So thank you for sharing those 3 tips. Before we move into learning more about, your story and your experience that we're going to talk about today, I do want to make sure that I'm reminding everyone about this free offer that we have going on. So Charlie is going to be providing a free virtual personalized decorating party for 30 people. What you're going to do is you're going to tell Charlie your decorative desires, your budget, and she will create a solution to help you achieve that luxury space. So for the first 10 minutes, it's going to be her Basically sharing 3 ways to elevate your space, dedicated to elevating your space specifically. And then the next 5 minutes are dedicated to answering one decorative question of your choice based off the space that you want her to review. And then the last 5 minutes will be dedicated to her giving you that solution. So if you tell her that your budget is, I don't know, you say, well, Charlie, I want to get this bathroom redecorated because I'm tired of looking at it. And my budget is $200. And this is what I have to work with. She can let you know how she would be able to assist you, and she can let you know what resources she's able to provide to help you get that luxury look that you're wanting to achieve. So one really cool thing about her services is that they are worldwide. So if you're needing these services done and you need these items purchased for your home, you can still have it done within your budget. She's going to do the virtual consultation with you, and that's why she would be able to see the space, send you the items that you need, go based off the measurements and everything like that. So did I miss anything, Charlie?
No, you did a great job. That's exactly what we'll give for 30 people. So don't wait, because there's going to be a lot of people going to run for this deal. Because that's a that's a package that's worth $399 starting price. Yeah. So don't wait.
Make sure you take advantage, everyone, because again,
take
it's
advantage.
A personalized experience. She's walking you through one space of your choice, and she's giving you that insight and tips on how to get that luxury look. I think a lot of times we tend to overwhelm ourselves when we're trying to achieve a goal with our spaces or our homes. But the reality is that there's a lot of things that you can do, just like the last 3 that she mentioned, that can really take that space to the next level. So in this consultation, in this decorating party, you will receive a personalized experience where she can walk you through, okay, this wall, maybe we can change that. And then don't feel afraid to tell that budget, because again, she would be able to assist you with the items that you might want to be purchasing or where you might want to look based off your budget. And if you're wanting to go ahead and get those services taken care of, you're someone that's like, please take care of it for me. She can just go ahead and with the budget, get that green light to do that. So let's move on. Charlie, now that we've kind of talked about, those ways to get that luxury space for less money, of course, more cost effective. Let's move into your experience. So can you dive a little bit into the experience that you have in design, architecture, engineering?
Yeah, so I'm an engineer by trade. I say that trade, by formal training. I also went to master's school for architecture, for sustainable living. And when you talk about sustainable living, it's just what our grandmother told us, how to reuse, renew. Like I gave a tip about the canvas art. That's what sustainable living is, not keeping things from going to the waste fields. I have been doing this staging business since 2017, 18. And how I got into the business, I was remodeling homes, and I knew they had to be staged because I looked at TV and did some research. And I said, okay, I got to stage this house because the staging brings a perceived value to the home. And then, again, it tells people how the space can be used. Okay, so stage is not decorating, but it gives people an idea of what the space can be used as. So I was like, well, I sold the houses. I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing all this furniture. Okay, I got it because I got to take it out. I didn't sell the inventory with the house. I said, you know what? TKD Home Staging and Design. So that's how the company came about in late 2017, 2018, early 2018. And so I've been an engineer for a long time. 20 plus years. So I bring all that engineering skills because I'm very meticulous with design, details. I'm very keen on details. I like to do research. I'm just not going to give you some fly off the handle answer. I'm going to listen to you. So all those skills have led to me to have the skills to do the redesign and staging services for people.
Okay, so there was something that you said that I wanted to go back to. For anyone that's watching, you mentioned how staging is not design or decorating. So for people who are wanting a decorative, they don't know whether or not they need their home staged or they need their home decorated. Could you explain the difference between those two services so they would know what to request from you?
Sure. So staging is basically I come in, I look at the space, and I kind of get a feel for the space, what type of house it is, the lighting of the house. Then I bring in furnishings that but that I know from research that attract to most buyers. It's a pleasing across the board. When it comes to decorating, it's your space. It's what you like. I may not like it, but it's not for me to like. Now, I may not like it, not because of personal reasons, but I may say, well, it might not be the best choice for your space. Versus staging is just a universal common ground that everybody says, okay, this is nice. I like the way this looks. Versus decorating is for you. What do you want in that space, in that room, that's going to make you come in the house and go, ooh, I like this. Girl, look at my room. I just can't, I love coming into the space because I just love how it makes me feel. So that's the difference.
I love that. And so for anyone that's watching this video, you would be receiving those decorating services because she's giving you that personalized experience. However, I want to make sure that we're also letting everyone know, if you know anyone that's in the realtors, real estate industry, you can tag them to this live because she does provide the staging services as well for people who are taking those homes off the market. And like she said, with staging, it's about creating an idea of how the space can be used that's going to attract the buyer. That has been shown through studies and statistics. The decorating is the more personalized experience we're doing for you. This is based off of what you want to see in your space, what you like. And it may be a little different than what a staging might look like because, again, it's personalized, unique. So I wanted to make sure we piggyback off of that because anyone that's in that industry, you should also know, again, she does worldwide services. So if you're based in Texas or you're based in Georgia or, Louisiana, wherever you're based, if you have a home that needs to be staged so you can get it off the market, she does provide those virtual services where she can get the items sent to you based off of your budget. So I just put that out there. Let's see.
Yes.
Okay. So we've talked about your experience. What is your story, Charlie? For anyone that doesn't already know who you are, what is Charlie's story?
Well, Charlie's story is a nice story. It's like a Russian story. It's long, but I'm gonna give you a short version. I have so I have come to learn to love myself. That's number one. And I want to tell the viewers out there, love yourself. It may not be easy. It's a process, but come to the meeting of the mind with yourself. And again, it may not be easy, but I've learned to do that. And so I'm not looking for what people think I should do. Those years are behind me. I'm looking at what I believe should be done for me and how I can take what I like to do and help others. I'm always, because of my mom has always taught me how to serve others. I'm a Christian, so service is very important to me. And so I just love serving other people. That's one of my biggest love language of service to people. That's probably number one, being of service to others.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And that's very beautiful. And that was a great short version of that Russian story because you said a lot in that short amount of maybe sentences. The part about loving yourself, doing for yourself what you feel should be done so that you can share, your love with other people versus what other people think you should be doing. There's a huge thing there. And I think that lesson is great for business and for personal and relationship life because we do carry these ideas of what someone else thinks we should be, and they tend to be a part of what we use to make our decisions. When in reality, we're going to be happy with that because it's not our true calling or our true passion. So, I love that. Is there anything that you would like to leave with the audience about CKD Home Staging or just, business owners in general that you think might need a message?
Sure. So CK Home Staging, we design first impressions that last. That's what we do. That is our motto. That's our mission, to make you love the space that you're in. The second thing I want to say to business owners, don't give up. I know the times, challenging now. Business go like this and that. Okay. When you look at some of these name brand corporations, they didn't jump out and just be overnight. Okay, they did not. So don't compare your business to somebody who's been in business 5, 10, 15, 20, even 40 plus years. Don't do that. It may not be the best mindset. And you can take that long-standing business and have vision like, I want to be there. But you're going to have to do steps to get there. You're going to have to put in at least 10,000 hours to even be considered an expert in whatever you're doing. business-wise, personal-wise. So remember the 10,000 hours to get to a level where you are saying, okay, I understand what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, for this business. So that's one to leave business owners with. Don't give up. It's hard, even for those corporations. It's hard for them too. They just have the budget to mask how hard that it is. They have the budget to make you think, hey, I got it popping. No, everybody can see financial trying times. Biggest business to the smallest business.
I agree. I 100% agree, especially, coming from working in both, seeing what a corporation the benefits of having a corporation versus some of the sides, the things that they struggle with. It is true. Everyone is going to have something that they have to overcome. And it's about continuing to go through it because the power of one is real. You keep going.
Yeah.
That next big break might be one step away. But if you stop walking,
one step away,
you never get there. And you would have never known
what you never get there.
So
yes,
I absolutely love it. Beautiful message, Charlie, and great tips and insight on how to elevate that space. So thank you again for providing value to us, providing value to this podcast and sharing these decorative tips, but also giving us some insight on the difference between staging versus home decorating as well.
Right. And thanks for inviting me. And don't wait, you out there. 30 people will come quickly. Don't wait like, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Wait. And then you come back to it like, oh, sorry, Charlie. Not to use my name in vain, but sorry, Charlie.
Yeah, don't wait, guys. Don't wait because it will go quickly. And we want to make sure that everyone who's interested in these services, whether they be for the home staging or home decorating, that you hurry up and get in on this virtual design party. Make sure you figure out what space you want Charlie to look at, what questions you have, come prepared. And she's going to give you some insight on that. And then she's also going to figure out what your budget is. So thank you, everyone, for watching, listening to the podcast. Have an amazing evening or day wherever you're listening from. And we look forward to seeing you again at the Boss Babe Blog Podcast. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you.